Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing today? It is your girl, B. Valise, with Tried and True Financial Services, where we help entrepreneurs with the ABCs of finance to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and business credit processes. And so today we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, believe it or not, and that is the budget. Whether we're talking about your personal budget or your business budget, it helps to plan. And if you don't like the word budget, then, you know, change it. Change it to another word. It's yours. You can do whatever you want to do with it, right? And that's one of the key things that I want to talk about when it comes to budgeting is because you get to do whatever you want to do with your budget. You get to put whatever you want to put in your budget. You get to take whatever you want to take out of your budget. The budget is yours. The financial spending plan. If you're a spender and you like spending, call it a financial spending plan. Again, I'm talking to my individuals and my business owners, okay? Because listen, understand this. As an individual, your habits and your traits don't change much when you become a business owner. So whatever habits and traits, spending habits, or whatever you have as an individual, that's going to carry over into your business dealings. And so you have to know yourself. Get to know yourself, get to understand, take a financial IQ test, just to get to understand who you are, how you spend, why you spend the way that you spend, because it's really important for you to understand and know how and why your money is behaving the way it is. Because you, just like you train up your child in the way in which they should go, you're training up your money. Every time it comes in, you're telling it where to go and what to do. And so a budget kind of helps you get a little bit of control over that, right? And so today is Tried and True Tip Tuesday, and I just wanted to pop in for a little bit and talk to you guys about your budget. All right, give me 1 second. I just want to try something different today, and I'm trying to get my other device going here. And it's not working out for me. That's okay, because I'm using a different platform, and I'm learning. You guys, I'm learning. As I'm teaching you all, I'm learning. This technology, I don't teach technology, right? The technology is not one of the things I teach. I teach finances. And so I'm learning. Some of my friends have been sharing some things with me about technology, how does technology work? And I'm working it out. It's a work in progress, just like your budget is. Your budget is a work in progress. And so you have to understand and know where your strengths and your weaknesses are. And if you have certain weaknesses in certain areas, then what do? You get help. And that's basically what I'm recommending that you do. If you're struggling with your budget, then you need to get some help. You need to get some help. And so I'm here to kind of just talk to you a little bit about how to manage your budget a little bit better. Past couple of weeks, we talked about having a business bank account. We talked about the various allocations that you need to have set up for your business bank account and even for your personal, spending. Having set allocations for various categories of your spending. Okay. And so with those various allocations of your spending, you know that there's going to be three main costs that's associated or tied with your spending or your budget, right? You're going to have your fixed costs. Okay, that's the set amount, like your rent. It's going to be the set amount. That amount isn't going to change. You know what that amount is, so it makes it a lot easier to budget for that. Okay, and then you have your variable costs, and so that means it changes from month to month. So that might be something like your cell phone bill. All right. So the cell phone bill might be similar in the amount each month, but it might vary depending on your usage. Okay. And then you have periodic costs. The periodic costs are things that don't happen every single month, like your water bill. Okay, so your water bill might come every other month. And so, a lot of times when we're talking about developing your budget, we talk in terms of monthly, on a monthly basis. And so, what I like to recommend for my clients a lot of times is when you sit down to create your budget, you want to look back over what's happened over the past 3 months, the past 6 months, the past 12 months, even. Okay. And so, for those things that are not fixed costs, um, like your variable costs that you can't plan for every month, what I recommend that you do is you look over the past 12 months, add those numbers up, and then divide it by 12. Once you come up with that monthly number, then that's the number you want to put in your budget. That's the number that you want to put in your monthly budget. And then you set that amount aside so that every other month or every quarter, or maybe like your estimated taxes, that's how we recommend, you put that money aside so that when those bills come due, those expenses come due, that you have the money to pay it. And you will be surprised that once you have those accounts set up and you have that money, maybe I'm just wired differently, because when my bills come and I have the money set aside to pay it, I get excited. I'm grateful for the fact that I have the ability to go ahead and take care of my business, to pay my bills. And I want you to get excited about your budget as well. You are an overachiever in so many other areas of your life. I know you are. I talk to you all the time. We are all overachievers. We're perfectionists. We want things to be done right. A lot of times we don't even act on certain things because we want it to be just right. All right. How come it's not the same for the budget? You want it to be the same for your budget. Get excited about your money. You get excited when it's time to make money. You get excited when it's time to, go have some fun. If you're a foodie, you like to go out to eat. If you like live music, you get excited about going to spend money on. Don't you love your home? Don't you love your business? Don't you love, the things that your lifestyle affords you to be able to pay for? Then I suggest you get excited about it. And once you renew your mind, and you really, this whole budgeting thing, it's a mindset issue, you all. You're overthinking it. Number one, you're overthinking it in your mind. Stop overthinking it. Stop overachieving. Stop wanting it to be perfect. Write it down. Write down what you're spending. Write down what you want to spend before you spend it. And then you'll be so much better off. Make sure that you put aside some money for spending. On a personal note, right? You have your play money, but on the business side, you're setting that money aside for your profit. So that when you want to reward yourself and or your team, your employees, that you have that money set aside. That gives you the motivation that you need to keep going. So I'm really just here to encourage you guys and to remind you guys, stop overthinking it. You're an overachiever. Stop being a perfectionist. Stop overdoing it. Make sure that if you're going to overdo it, overestimate what your expenses are going to be. Overestimate that so that at the end of the thing that you have a little bit of extra left over to kind of maneuver a little bit better. Because the reality of it is that we stress ourselves out about finances. I went to a conference last week and they dealt with fear. And really, they dealt with fear. And one of the things that they pointed out to us is that fear is mentioned in the Bible 365 times. All right. And so somebody pointed out that, wow, that means that fear is showing up in our lives every single day. And that was really profound, right? It's like, wow, fear is showing up every day of our lives, causing us to shrink back, but I couldn't help but pipe up and say, well, that while that may be true, what I do know is that finances is mentioned over 2,370 times in the Bible. So divide that by 365 and figure out how many more times finances is mentioned in the Bible, because God knew that we were going to need help in this space and he wanted us to prosper and live an abundant life. Okay. And so he put a lot in his word about finances. Give and it shall be given. You want to make sure that as an individual that you're paying, not only your taxes, but you're paying your tithes. But from a business standpoint, tithes is a personal thing. I taught this when I did the Bible study with my pastor a couple of weeks ago. Tithes is a personal thing. Your relationship with God is a personal thing. So stop trying to pay your tithes out of your business account. Pay yourself a reasonable salary, and then you pay your tithes on that money. All right? Y'all take the time that you need, whether you're going to use a spreadsheet, whether you're going to use an app. Sometimes for me personally, I'm old school. I like to write my things down. I like to keep my things in a spreadsheet. I don't tend to use apps for budgeting, because then you have to connect all of your accounts and you have to keep them all updated. But to each his own, right? There are many, many, many apps out there that will allow you to connect your accounts and keep track of your budget that way, keep track of your spending that way. Trust me, you'll sleep much better at night. Just give it a try. Give it a try. Give it a try. Don't stop. Don't be discouraged. I always tell people, if you don't like what you see on the paper, then you have full autonomy to change it. And be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't get so overwhelmed with it that you feel like it's not doable or that you can't do it. You have to do it. Your future and your standard of living and your livelihood is dependent upon you doing it, and you doing it on a regular and consistent basis. And even once, you got your wheels oiled well and they're rolling real good, you want to check in. You want to check in on your numbers. You want to check in on your finances. You want to check in on your money and make sure your money is doing what you need it to do. Most successful business owners, they know their numbers. You have to know your numbers as a business owner. You have to know your numbers. And the only way that you're going to know them is if you are engaged in the process, if you're involved in the process. Okay. But on the flip side of that, a lot of the statistics show that a lot of businesses fail. Most businesses fail because of cash flow issues. And a lot of times we're having cash flow issues because we're not tracking our cash and our spending accurately. You have to do it. There's no way around it. There's no magic wand to make this thing work properly. And there's no amount of money that once you get there, you still don't want to keep track of it. You have to. So as you are overachieving in life, as you're making strides and you're making moves, you're living your best life, make sure that your budget is living its best life and it's overachieving right along with you. Amen. All right, that's all I came on here to say. I came on here to get y'all together about these finances and about making sure that you're tracking your spending. We're more than halfway through the year. Okay, there's going to be a lot of other things, some critical dates and timelines that we are going to need to tap in on. And so I'm going to be coming before you, reminding you of the things that you need to be aware of, in the know of, staying on top of. So I'm going to stay along this journey with you, sharing tips, sharing tools on how to be more effective with your finances and your spending, and making sure that you're staying on track with everything that you need to do so that we can make sure that we are being good stewards over that what God has entrusted to our hands. Amen. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I will make sure that I am responding to those. If you have any insight that you might need on the budgeting apps or spreadsheets, how to use them effectively, let me know. If you need some help breaking down your periodic expenses and how to track all of that, let me know. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to help lift a little bit of that burden off your shoulders so you don't have to carry it all along. All right. It's your girl, B. Valise, with Tried and True Financial Services, where we help entrepreneurs with the ABCs of finance to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and business credit processes. It's been real good checking in with you on this terrific Tuesday. I love you all, and I'll see you next week on our next segment.